What up, people? What's good? Salute, salute.
Yes, sir.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Salute to the tribe. We're hip hop and comics and hip hop. We're a niche channel. We're a niche channel. And reserved for the best is super dope. I do sell comics. Check me out on Instagram at 6th_element_comic. We do live auctions, live claim sales. I rock with Tooth and Claw, hit animated television series. The Scotty Young joint, blowing up fast. X-23. So this is dope, man. All right, so this is beautiful. All right, y'all. All right, it is time to get it popping. I am Reno Noir. This is the 6th element of hip hop. This is my homeboy Cooks 24 podcasts on my right or left, depending on your orientation. What's good, Cooks?
What's going on, man?
Just chillaxing, man, kicking it. And Stu Dog has joined us. What's good, my brother?
What's up, Stu?
What's good?
We got the Steelers cup.
Yeah, you got that cup in the way. You got that cup in the way. Can't see you.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know it was there, man. Let me get this
cup in the way.
This cup out the way. Let me get this cup out the way here, man. Let me find some way to put it where I don't want nobody to get distracted.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm saying?
I don't distract nobody. So I'm just.
Man.
Oh, should I? I mean, we look good at. I mean, it look good anywhere. Cooks with here, over there. What's up?
Hold on. That was right there.
Right there.
Over that way. A little bit more.
I got it. How about
never mind. That's your cup.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what it is.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wu-Tang.
The Steelers got the right colors. They got that yellow and that black, just like Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
I give you that. You
know what I'm saying? Cooks, you can't beat that, Cooks. Who else got Wu-Tang colors in the NFL? Nobody got Wu-Tang colors, man, but the Steelers, bro. Matter of fact,
is that right?
Yeah, nobody got Wu-Tang colors but the Steelers. Nope, nobody else got the black and yellow. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell y'all a crazy story. It's true. When they first formed Wu-Tang, they met up with the Roonies, and they got permission. The Roonies was like, "Yo, it's too black and yellow, man, and you always gonna have love here in Pittsburgh." And RZA thought about it. He was like, "You know what? That's dope." Because originally the symbol was supposed to be something else, and Riz was just like, "You know what? I think I'm gonna do that."
When mathematics drew it, he didn't have a color scheme.
Nah, it was drawn in black and white. And RZA was just like, we're gonna be big. And at the time, the Steelers didn't know they was gonna be that big. They was like, yeah, just use our colors. Don't even worry about it. It's all good. They was trying to get into they was trying to get into the rap game. That's all, right? But lo and behold, man, it just blew up, man. Who would have known?
That's dope.
Who knew? Who
would have known, man? Who would have known? Cooks. Cooks didn't even know that.
No, I sure did. That's dope. That's smooth right there. I like that. That's all right.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. So what's up, fellas? What's going on? Cooks 24, salute. Reno, salute. Everybody in the world, salute to the chat. Man, what's going down today? Interesting. We were talking about Saturday, Reno. We were talking about Black Adam, and we were talking about DC. And my Day. DC Comics year by year, I actually went in there and looked up I ran across the Wizard. I looked up that gave him their powers. Mm-hmm. The reason why the other seats are empty is because Black Adam killed everybody except for the Wizard, Shazam. But the Wizard Shazam has the same powers as Black Adam and Shazam. The only difference is he's part of, I think it's called the Hard Rock or the Source Rock or something like that. He gets his powers from the Source Rock. And while he's in the Source Rock, he's pretty much, you can't defeat him. He pretty much can't be defeated. The reason why he doesn't come out of the Source Rock much because the longer he's out of there, the weaker he gets. So that's why he makes brief appearances. He gives out work and he disappears.
Right.
He can't. So Black Adam killed every member of the council except for the Wizard Shazam. and that was after the guy that's in the movie. Oh, what's the name of the guy that was the doctor that was in the movie, the Shazam movie that we just saw? He was the one that actually freed Black Adam, and Black Adam came out, and then that's when he killed the whole council except for. But they tell two different because you got the New 52 story, and then you got the original story.
Right.
And the original story kind of lines up with the New 52, except for a couple of little nuances.
Well,
but the Wizard is incredibly powerful, incredibly powerful.
And that's you think that's gonna be in the movie?
I hope so, because at the end of the movie they showed that little worm. He's actually, believe it or not, one of Shazam's arch enemies. Like he's actually,
right.
He's actually really smart. he's like a diabolical genius.
Yeah. It's a cool little character. Yo, shout out Diamond Onyx in the building. Always saying what's up. Salute. We
Diamond Onyx, what's up?
Shout out to everybody that's in here kicking it with us, and we appreciate you hanging out, man. We got a lot of news today, a lot of hip hop and comic news, man. A lot of good stuff. But first, we want to talk about that episode, man, of the Wu-Tang American Saga. It's episode 9. C.R.E.A.M, Cash Rules Everything Around Me. They finally did it. Corey Adler, what's good? What's up?
Corey, what's up? Peace.
So we finally got to the C.R.E.A.M.
we got to the C.R.E.A.M. I liked it, man. I like the way they show. I like the way they show how, because that's one thing people don't talk about is their struggles before they got C.R.E.A.M. And basically in the episode you see them like look, we need money, we doing this, but we ain't getting no money out of it.
Yeah.
And they like, look, we gotta get something. You got Ghost. He like, look, I might have to make a move.
I gotta do what I gotta do, man.
Right, because this ain't, what's her name? Chick. She was like, I can get a job. I can do what I gotta do. Right. I can handle this. And Ghost felt like, it's all on his back. Yeah, well, yeah. Ghost felt like it's all on his back. He like, look, this is on my back. Let me, man, I'm Ghost.
See, it make a man want to do. Women, ladies out there, if you are that type of broad where you down to really put it in and chip in and make things work, meet your man halfway and all of that, it makes us want to do more. It makes us want to do even better and
everywhere,
even more. Just letting you know.
It does. And Reno sound like he's talking from experience.
Ain't no subliminals there.
But, I mean, Cook's nodding his head like he nodding from experience.
I mean, it's common sense. It's common sense.
Yeah.
But then they go to so then they start shopping the demo or whatever. They try to get a record deal.
Right.
Everybody's like, everybody's not really, everybody's coming shady. You know what I mean? Everybody's coming shady.
They're not getting that
C.R.E.A.M yet. And Jizza talked about it in one of the songs. He said something these A&R labels, but their money's something like the gum under the table. Stuck like the gum under the table. Yeah, that's what you get. Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you misrepresent what I invent.
What I invent. Yeah. Yeah,
and
but who's the A&R? Mountain climber who plays an electric guitar, but he don't know the meaning of dope. He's looking for a student tie rap that's cleaner than a bar of soap, but I'm the dirtiest thing in sight. Matter of fact, call out the girls and let's have a mud fight. Yeah, man, protect you. That's the final verse.
That was another struggle they had as well. Is
because there's always laid it down about the what do you call it? The labels. You know what I mean? Yo, shout out Al Mega. Comic Crusaders cousins was good. Thank you, man. Much love. But so he was always talking about the labels. Like he got a song on his first
called
album.
Labels.
Called Labels.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Learn out all the labels on that. And that's another one of them really dope hip hop milestone. You know what I mean? Like just a classic bar. You know what I mean? A classic song that is like innovative, clever. Like Nas is the gun. Like I Gave You Power, where he raps as a gun. You know what I mean? From the perspective like he's a gun. and it's just those kind of like clever, dope, you know, wordplay that Wu-Tang is always known for. And I want to talk about in a second here about something Ghostface was doing. He just broke down the best storytelling rap songs of all time. They did a little what do you call it? Like a little I don't know what you call it. Not a contest. He was like debating, judging. They asked him, what's the best storytelling songs, but Cream, the main song for this episode, is easily one of the best storytelling songs. You know what I mean? I grew up on the crime side, New York Times side. Staying alive was no job. Had second hands. Mom's bounce on old man. And then we moved to Shaolin Land. Young youth.
Young youth.
Old tooth.
Gold tooth.
I mean, like the whole thing. He breaks it down in his
Only you
vision.
Akagio was drug loot.
Right? And you see it like a zenith. You've seen it. You know what I mean? And that's what I think the Wu is best at, creating narratives, creating visuals, you know what I mean? Like they were always very cinematic to me. So I kind of like seeing them in this show, being able to dramatize, I guess you would say, cinematize their story, you know what I mean? Like embellish it a little bit, throw the throw the action scenes in there and stuff, make a cool little, cinematic about it. This is not a documentary, ladies and gentlemen. Cooks, what did you think about this episode and how it kind of broke down how they made Cream one of their most iconic tracks? Definitely the song that pushed them over the edge.
I seeing the different scenarios that they had to deal with separately and shedding some light on it. Follow them for I'm one of the ones that followed them for a long time. So you hear them talk about it in so many different interviews and documentaries, but then when you get to see somebody act it out in that way, you know what I'm saying? They're giving you good pieces of it so you can see, it was real. They wasn't lying. They wasn't bull jiving. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have nothing to glorify except making it. You know what I mean? And I liked it. I definitely, what I'm saying? That definitely gave me another different perspective. Made me respect them more. Seeing all the different stuff that's going on between each member. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? What place that they all had in the time, because you God had a special part that he had to play. Those had a special part that he had to play. Jilza had a special part that he had to play. You know what I'm saying? Rizza had his part that he had to play. You know what I mean? And just seeing everybody's parts play out to what we got now, shed a lot of light for, what I mean, the old and the young, you know what I'm saying? Because uh it give for the older, it make them like proud, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, man, like I'm glad to see that because ain't more than five, three, four, five groups that stuck together like that through the whole period. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we got some legendary groups that started out, and we probably
Started
still
strong,
playing some
yeah.
of that music
Plenty.
now, but they aren't together now. You know what I'm saying? It's always
Right.
one or two members that keep on going. They might do a reunion, but with the Wu, it's different. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like out of their group, it's almost like it's they're much more than a collective, but they're also much more than a group. It's like they, you know what I mean? Like because they're a group, they're not a collective. This is the Wu-Tang Clan, but at the same time, like you said, they've got their solo careers. Each one of them has a powerful solo career, and that was exactly what RZA laid out. And I think, and then this is the episode where he really broke it down. Like, we got to have, they've got to have the right to make their own album. Even like the label cannot own each member. You can
Hmm.
have the group, you can sign the group Wu-Tang Clan, but you aren't signing Method Man. You aren't signing Raekwon. You know
Right.
what I mean? You aren't signing them
Right.
individually. And apparently that wasn't a normal thing. That wasn't standard. pretty much standard now because of Wu-Tang Clan. They changed the entire industry, changed the game.
They changed the game, yeah.
Changed how contracts were made, and you know, like
remember
I said, now.
Yeah, go ahead, I'm sorry. Now remember the beginning where Bobby was playing a chess match with RZA. So it was Bobby versus RZA, but he was having a conversation with himself in his head. But it was like a chess match because he's trying to figure out, you know, the chess game was symbolic of, you know, what moves can I make strategically, to win this? Because I'm fighting not only am I fighting, you know, myself, but I'm fighting the industry. You know what I mean? Which is the game. You know what I mean? And you know, that's when you get you know, don't hate the player, hate the game. You know what I mean? So he playing.
Miss Cooley, what's up?
Miss Cooley.
Miss Cool.
You know what I mean? So he in there playing the game, but that's the whole symbolic meaning of the whole thing. People, I don't think nobody got that RZA was playing the game, and then Bobby was playing the game. So you got RZA versus Bobby versus the game.
And so, then versus Prince Rakeem, because he had the top hat on.
He had the top hat on,
Coattails, and he was that cat too, who was kind of like, you know, dancing for the industry type dude, and he was like sell out, knocked his hat off. That was ill. You know what I mean? Like that was it was mad you know, telling, you know, to see inside his head. You know, that was dope. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, it's dope how they are able to cinematize things. Like that's something you would never be able to get in a documentary that you can get from a show. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta remember RZA did that also too for the Gravediggers. Because you remember they used to be Stetsasonic.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he resurrected them as well. Got them a deal. And then he did his thing with them.
Gravediggers by him adding to it, and you know.
Yeah, and then he did thing. He did his own thing. Yeah, Bobby did it.
Yeah, we was heavy in the Gravediggers. Oh, that was our shit.
The Gravediggers was dope, bro. It was dope, man. They just had a tragic, you know, it was just tragic for them the way things ended, and it wasn't like on nothing like Cook said where the group broke up. It was just, you know, I think it was Fuquan had a lot of health issues, and it just wasn't going good for them. So I guess they figured if we can't do it as a group, we can't do it.
Yeah, no, you know what I mean. You gotta form together like Voltron. You know what I mean, and make it one. Angelo Bolanos says, "Are we getting season 3 of the show?" I hope so. I think so, man. I don't think there's any way.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah,
I sure do.
I want to see the creation of Forever. Really, I want to see the creation of the Purple Tape. They really need to do that in season 3 because that was a dope story. How Ray and Ghost was, you know, bouncing and doing their thing, and then ended up going to Barbados. I think RZA just sent them to Barbados, like go, and so they was feeling that Scarface, you know what I mean, Pablo Escobar vibe being on the island.
They was,
Y'all forgetting something though. Enter the Master Killer.
Oh yeah. What you mean, the album?
We gotta see how he formulates.
How he comes in a little bit. And Capadonna. That's the real. Capadonna's the real mystery right now because he was in season 1.
Up. Yeah, was locked up at the time when they formed.
He was locked up.
And
we saw him in season 1.
Took his place. Yeah, we did because Meth took his place. I watched an interview where Meth said that. Meth said I was supposed to be a separate act, and then Cap was locked up, so I took Cap's place.
Yeah, Cap was always
Cap was always supposed to be an original member from day one, and it wound up being kind of reversed. Like, you know, kind of being reversed where he was down. He kind of took Method Man's role that Method Man was supposed to take in the beginning. But it just went in reverse. He's still like Meth said, he family. He's still a clan member, an original clan member, but he just wasn't there from day one. I think you guys was locked up too, wasn't? Didn't you guys get locked up too right before the album dropped?
You guys got locked up before 36 came out. Yeah,
like he recorded and everything. But he was locked up.
Like a song or two. He was on like 1 or 2 of the songs, and then he got locked up before, you know, they finished it and it was able to come out. Man, Miss Cooley said she was crazy over that song, "We Love You, Rakeem," when she was a kid.
I think everybody liked that joint. It was fly. That was fly. Yeah, it was dope.
Yeah, Master Killer was in there, but I never seen Capadonna as a auxiliary member or a affiliate member. To me, he's always been one of the members. You know what I mean? Like,
But you got it's the way you look at the scenario broke down. You know what I'm saying? Like if you watch the videos, you know what I'm saying. You see
because he
how
wasn't on the
he didn't
first
come
album,
to ice cream. You know what I'm
right?
saying?
He
If in
came
a while, I'm
on the
talking about like
purple
when you
tape,
watch it. If
right?
you watch, like for me in Alabama, I didn't know nothing about Capadonna until ice cream.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
nah,
saying?
Word.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we knew. Yeah, we knew about Cat.
You know
We
what I'm
just
saying?
didn't. Yeah, yeah, we knew about Cat. He just didn't come to that next album. And next album, he came strong, and then he dropped the Pillage, and that was even stronger. We was
I
like,
was
Pillage
all
was
man,
over
great.
then.
Cat.
I was all over
Yeah,
then.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
the Pillage
Pillage
is
was
one of
even
my
stronger.
favorite albums. That's one of the
Yeah, that
albums
joint
that
was
I
super
rocked all
strong.
the time. Yeah,
Yeah, me
hell
too.
yeah. Yeah, that's a classic right there. I don't That's a highly underrated joint. If y'all ain't rocked the Pillage yet, go get Capadonna the Pillage and learn some stuff. Youngins, do that today. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, the
Yeah,
Pillage was
Young
dope, man.
Hearts, Black Boy, that album was
Yeah,
bananas.
what's that
Run.
other thing? Donna, Run.
Oh yeah. Come on,
Yeah,
man. That album's
yeah,
amazing.
that joint was dope, man. Cause
Yeah.
even when you go back, cause even going back to Cream, when you look at the lyrics, and they were saying, but when it was a dream for the team who was a fiend, started smoking
First smoking
woolies at
Wools at
16.
16.
Yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of people don't know what woolies are. You know what I mean?
Well, he
Like
said it.
woolies,
He
that's
said, he
one of,
said, he
yeah,
said, no
that's a
question,
one
I
on.
was speed for cracks and weed. The
Cracks and
combination
weed,
made
yeah.
my eyes bleed. So
Yeah,
he
it's
put
bleed,
crack
yeah.
in the joint and smoked it.
That's called a one on. Yeah, that's called
It's
a one
called a
on one. We
Wooler.
called it,
Yeah.
yeah, that's called a woo. Yeah, we called them one on
Something I
ones.
never fucked with. Man,
If
I
you was
don't
a
care
god,
how
yeah, if you was a
popular that shit
god, we
would have
called
been.
them.
I
Yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
do
If
it.
you was
I
a god,
couldn't
yeah,
do
a
it,
lot of
man.
people did that. They mixed the crack with the
A lot
weed,
of people
smoked
did
that.
that shit. I couldn't do
Yeah, a
it.
lot of people
Motherfucker,
did
that
that.
shit was
Yeah,
going around. I'm good.
We call that primo where we from down
Primo. Well,
here.
see now we call that the lace with powder, but we shouldn't be talking about
yeah.
all this on
Now if
the
you, now if
Exactly.
you, yeah, now if you had knowledge yourself, they called them one ons, one on one.
Hmm.
right,
I mean, knowledge,
right.
yeah, that's what they call them one ons. So
Mhm.
when you think about those lyrics, he was telling you back then. I was hitting the one ons. I was doing it, knocking it out.
Yep, yep. And
Then Raekwon comes on. My life got no better. Same damn little sweater. He talking about the
yeah,
goose. He talking about the goose. Saying little goose. Times rough or
mhm.
tough like leather. Figured out when I
Went
got
the
the
wrong
wrong
route,
route.
but I got with a sick ass click and
Yeah,
went
so I
all
got a
out.
sick ass. See, that's what the whole episode was about. They figured out like,
Right.
look, we can't do the street thing. We gotta, and not to get off subject. When you listen to Biggie, Biggie says that a lot, and Puffy says that a lot too. He said when he met Big, he said Big was out there slanging heavy,
Oh yeah,
and Puff was
yeah.
like, look, man, you can't look like you got to get with this, like,
A
and
lot of
Biggie, I
rappers,
saw,
they have
yeah, they
to.
was slanging heavy.
You can't be. You can't have one foot in the street and one foot in the rap game. You can try it,
Yeah,
but it always ends badly. That's
and
why
that's what Biggie,
producers like
yeah,
Puffy and RZA was dead against it. Like, yo, it's like the mob. Like in the mafia, they don't. You can't sell drugs. Like you might do it on the side, but if you get caught by the bosses, you done because that shit brings heat we don't need. It brings synergies
yeah,
we don't want to. People end up snitching and all of that. You can't. That's why they don't do it. It wasn't a moral thing.
yeah. It wasn't a
It just
moral
brings
thing.
too much heat.
Yeah, and they were trying to do something because when you listen to a couple of Biggie's rhymes, he say that he was like, "Look, I'm out here slanging. I hope Puff don't find out. Know what I mean, I might have to shoot a nigga. Hopefully,
Yeah,
Puff don't get wind of this because that's
he was going
he was
down
supposed to
south.
be
He was
doing
going to
something else,
Virginia.
right? Yeah, he still had his foot. He was still dabbling a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Ghostface breaks down the classic storytelling rap songs and crowns the greatest of them all. From Tupac's Brenda's Got a Baby versus Biggie, I Got a Story to Tell, to Eminem's Stand versus Nas Rewind, and also discusses the 25th anniversary release of his debut album, Iron Man. It is coming back. It is being re-released, y'all. One of the classic albums of the Wu-Tang, solo joints that have come out. That's one that for me was definitely like one of those, joints that you studied it. You know what I mean? Like we studied the lyric like it was a textbook or something.
Yeah, we
But
did.
so Ghostface, what he does is they put up a song like Story to Tell versus this or that, like or Stand versus Rewind. And so he would pick the best out of those two. And then they would do a final round. Okay, what's the best storytelling song out of these two? And then, till he gets to a final. And Impossible, which is one of the best storytelling verses in the game, where Ghost is, she comes out holding the breast with a gown on, you know what I mean? Blood on his Wiley's like ketchup. Like that whole vivid story that he broke down in Impossible is, in my opinion, the greatest storytelling, greatest cinematic bar in hip hop, the most vivid. It makes you really see, you know what I'm saying? And he broke it. He that and Rewind, Nas's Rewind, where he does
Yeah,
the whole
Rewind was very,
back.
that was, yeah.
That
And
shit is,
don't forget Love's Gonna Get You. Love's Gonna Get You was a good storytelling.
yeah. I don't
Kev
know if
broke it
they
down
did
in
that.
that.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if they did that. When they did Slick Rick's. Uh, you know,
Part of
they definitely,
storytelling.
yeah, yeah. It definitely did. Stan. That's a great one.
Stan's a
Ghost
good one
actually,
too, yeah.
Ghost surprised me. He put Stan was like one of the top three. It was Stan, Impossible, and Rewind is how he got down to it. And then because he kept putting Rewind up there every time Rewind came up, he was like, man, that shit is
It was,
crazy.
bruh.
Yeah, man.
Because
Listen,
it took a lot of
yeah,
it took
yeah,
time. Like he didn't just spit that out freestyle. You had to think and you
yeah,
know,
he broke that down.
you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
Rewind.
shoot, don't stop, and all of that. Like the bullet goes back in the
Yeah,
gun. You know what I mean?
they
Like the
go,
whole,
yeah, yeah.
it's
I listened to
crazy.
that joint. I listened to that joint, Reno, one day. Like you said, I went back and listened to them albums and Nas. And when that song
Mhm.
came on, I literally just, I had to rewind. I said, let me hit this again.
Had to
I went through it again.
rewind.
I had to rewind. I went back
Telling
through it.
you,
I was like,
man,
yo,
because you
I was
gotta,
like, yo, this
because
joint
yeah,
is tight. I was like, this
Yeah.
joint is just tight, man. It was just tight, man. Like
yeah,
that was very creative, just the way he did that. Like the
super
whole thing
creative,
is just
super
creative. Yeah,
super
bro.
clever, super well thought out and all of that. So that one almost almost won, but when it got down to it, I think it was Stan and that one. And then it got down to Impossible and Rewind. And I'm trying to remember because he went back and forth, but I think he chose Rewind over Impossible. And he was like, I'm sorry, but I don't want to just be that dude that just picks my song. You know what I mean? Like, and he was like, Rewind is so high tech that I can't, you know what I mean? I can't, can't front. And that's big, you know what I'm saying? To put another. But listen, Ghost and Ray, they've always revered Nas. Like Ghost has always revered Nas. That's why he was on the Purple Tape with them. Nas is on that first Purple Tape.
Yep.
Nas has a verse.
Yeah, like I'm looking at the lyrics now. The bullet goes back in the gun. The bullet holes closing. This chest of a nigga. Now he's back to square one, screaming, shooting. Don't please. I put my fifth
Yeah,
back in my hip. Yeah, it's like a VCR rewinding a hit. He put his
it's
hands
crazy.
back on his bitch. My caravan doors open up. I jump back in the van and close it shut.
Man.
Go on reverse, slowly prepared. My nigga jump. Damn, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because it ain't
Yeah,
common
my
sense. It's
nigga
not what
jungle
you would
utters
think.
out something crazy like, go he there.
Go he there,
Yeah.
Right.
right? Like there he goes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
everything
instead of
that's
there you go.
happening,
Yeah, everything was going backwards. Yeah.
and
Sitting
that's
in the
vivid
back of his chair.
storytelling because
Like, you
you're
look, yeah, look, sitting
envisioning
in the
it.
back of his chair while he hitting the roach, the smoke goes back in the blunt. The blunt
Smoke goes
gets
back.
bigger in the growth. Jungle
Hell
unrolls
yeah.
it.
The
Puts the
blunt
weed back in the
growing,
jar. The
and you
blunt,
see it.
yeah, the blunt turns back into a cigar. You
Yeah,
listen to Stevie. It sounds like heavy metal fans spinning records backwards of AC/DC. I get my niggas to dap. Jump out of the van. Back first. Back upstairs. Took off the black shirt. I'm in the crib with the phone in my ear.
All right.
Yo, yeah.
That's crazy.
Outside right, we. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's something that took a lot of time and thought and you had to really, be thinking to write that. That's something that's obviously missing from hip hop today, And I don't mean, just clever lyrics, just thinking, period, just thinking about what you're saying and all of that. That's something that is missing from the mainstream hip hop. I won't say from hip hop because it's always cats out there doing real hip hop that will never go nowhere.
Right.
That's true.
So so y'all remember the $2 million Wu-Tang record, right? Yes, Dancing with the Devil by Immortal Technique is another crazy good storytelling track. Angelo Bolanos in the chat just said, yeah, absolutely, bro. So that the new owners of the Wu-Tang Clan's One of a Kind album. Remember this album that the Wu pretty much hated, and the dude Scarelli bought it for $2 million. Came
Put
in
it
a
on
big
the shelf.
yeah, so the government sold Once Upon a Time in Shaolin to satisfy a judgment against its first owner. Scarelli had ended up with a collective called Pleaser DAO that paid an intermediary $4 million. All right. So you could say anything you want about the Beatles sold the most, or Michael Jackson sold the most. No artist on the planet had an album that cost as much as a Wu-Tang album. They got the highest
They got the
price,
highest paid,
highest selling
price album
album of all
in
time.
history. Yeah, 4 million. Somebody paid 4 million for one Wu-Tang album.
I mean, we thought it was crazy when that happened, and it was $2 million. It just sold for $4 million.
And then remember, it's printed up on like a gold album or something like that. Like it's printed up, like it's printed up
It's
real
in a
special
gold
too.
box.
It's in a gold
It's
box.
in a
Yeah.
gold box with a wooden box behind that, and it's got like 3 boxes. It's crazy, the whole setup, but it's dope, man. I remember when I heard about it, I was like, man, that is the coolest. That is the most Wu-Tang shit I can think of, because it's like a mysterious artifact. You know what I mean? Like some shit that, you know what I mean? Like you can just see it in a movie. Like that's the Indiana Jones, the final thing in the tomb that he goes up, and it's this golden Wu-Tang album. Like the whole thing was just crazy.
I just wanted to hear it, man.
I just wanted to hear it.
I just wanted to hear that joke.
Hearing all the interviews from the members hating it, and the fact RZA didn't produce it. If Silver Rings produced it to sound like a Wu-Tang album, then you essentially have just somebody copying the RZA and trying to sound like RZA when they make beats, and it's like, all right,
well, nah, because Silver Rings, all right, Silver Rings, I listened to it. I have Silver Rings, the one album he put out. The production on it, to me, sounds like a cross between Bronze Nazareth. Like Silver Ring style is a cross between Bronze Nazareth and RZA. Whereas in Bronze Nazareth is like the official person next to RZA in mathematics when it comes to producing an album.
Yeah.
When it comes to beats, when it comes to making beats, when it comes to making beats, you got Bronze Nazareth, you got RZA, you got mathematics, and it used to be Silver Rings, but
True Master. I mean, a lot of cats.
True Master, but don't forget what's my man name? Love. What's my DJ Love? Forget about him. You know what I mean? But he's the one do the official mixtapes. You know what I mean? Right. But as far as production on official albums, it's always going to be RZA. RZA even said it's always going to be him. And he got Bronze, and Bronze is like, it's sort of like that new Wu sound, but it's that old Wu sound, but it's the new Wu, like that Midwest. Like that Midwest. So like Bronze is official when it comes to producing beats for them. Right. And so like Silver Rings, the first album put out, it was dope. I can't say it wasn't. But
the Wu-Tang album that he's done is the one I'm talking about. I haven't heard no Wu-Tang. Or rather, I say the Once Upon a Time in Shaolin. We've heard some songs from that album. Right. Like some of that, you can look up some of that music. Some of it's been leaked. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't wildly impressed. And the members of the Wu, what they say about it is that Silver Rings basically, like, they don't even like him. They don't like it
No,
at
they
all
don't.
because
No, they don't
what
like
he did,
Samoan.
he said that he would call them and ask them for a verse for whatever project or whatever it was. You know what I mean? And just, I guess he lied to them on multiple occasions, hitting them up because they weren't supposed to know that the album was being made. So he was asking them for verses for other things and stuff like that, and they had no idea it was to compile this album. And so it's not like the Wu got together and made an album, and that
No,
is big to me. To
no,
me,
it
then
wasn't.
it's
Yeah,
just a mixtape. I'm really not pressed to hear this album, but it's dope to me that the Wu-Tang sold it for 4 million. That's amazing. I mean, well, I guess
Mhm.
they did. The government sold it for 4 million, but they sold it for 2 million. But it has been bought for 4 million. Um, it is a the frontier of digital art and cryptocurrency. Uh, Pleaser DAO is the company, and bought it for $4 million. The collective has existed for less than a year, but has already built a reputation for high-profile digital works in a complex deal with multiple parties, one of whom remains unidentified. Pleaser DAO acquired once upon a time after its sale July by the federal government, which had seized the album to satisfy the balance of the $7.4 million forfeiture money judgment against Mr. Shkreli that was part of his sentencing in 2018. But Pleaser DAO, which took possession of the album September 10th and is keeping it in a vault somewhere in New York City, has decided to come forward to celebrate its trophy and announce its goal to ultimately somehow make the album more widely available for fans to hear. If that is, it can convince RZA, the Wu-Tang's leader and fellow producer, Silver Rings, to allow it, because they actually, part of the stipulation that when they sold it to Shkreli was he wasn't allowed to play it for anyone or put it out for anyone. Like he couldn't sell it, he couldn't make money off it, he couldn't put any of the songs out or none of that. And it was something like, I don't know, some 80-year clause. It was some crazy,
yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it's a long
but
time. Yeah,
contractually they're not supposed to be able to play the joint. But I think that I don't know. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that RZA is going to uh allow them to play it finally? Like,
no,
okay, at this
no.
point, let's just let
I
them
don't
hear
think
it.
he.
Or you
Nope.
think he's
No,
gonna keep it
no,
quiet?
nope, no, sir. I think
What do you
he
think,
going.
Cook?
He just gonna go with it.
Mm, I really don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know. I
Yeah.
mean,
I,
if he get his hands on it the way he want to get his hands on it, and they always get mad at him for doing stuff that he
yeah.
do. You know what I'm saying? Over the
Yeah.
years they have, a lot. They always
Yep.
express how mad they be at RZA for doing certain stuff.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
another thing that I can see them getting mad at him for, because if he get his hands on it the way he want to get his hands on it, I feel like he would probably let that out just to
Mm,
go on and let it out.
yeah.
But if he don't have to say so, then I agree with Stu. No, they'll never play it.
Right.
But if
Yeah,
he
Right.
can, but if he can manipulate the way he want to manipulate in his way, not like in a bad way, in a way to where it might bring something in the back front to where, well, y'all ain't gonna be this mad because y'all gonna get this and this. Then I say,
Yeah.
yeah, he'll probably he might, but as of now,
Right.
I agree with Stu. I don't think he'll play it.
yeah.
I
I don't
feel you.
think. And I'm saying it only because all right, RZA's put out other
I
projects
agree
that
with you. I
was
agree with
hella
you.
dope,
But
and
I
he
think
never
maybe
like.
for
All
a
right,
different reason.
you know what? It's just RZA. Like when he put out the stuff with Shaba from System of a Down,
Right.
the A Chosen project, it was dope. I
Yeah.
mean, and then he released it on a boombotic speaker, and that was the only way you could get it.
Right.
You had to get the speaker in order to get it. And I mean, the fans ultimately ripped it off of the speaker, put it on YouTube, whatever,
Of
and
course.
that's how we got it.
Right.
But RZA was not really interested. I don't know why in putting it out. I mean,
Yeah.
he supported it, he backed it, but
Well,
he just
I
didn't
think
put it out.
if they're smart, I think RZA, and then they are smart. I think RZA's going to not let it out, just because right now the Wu is on a rise. They're on an uptick, man, with the show like being a success and new fans and young people, and I mean, this is a resurgence. Like, this is a resurgence of the Wu. Like, they were quiet a little while, but this is a resurgence. And putting out an album or allowing people to hear an album that's subpar, I think is a bad move right now. And I think RZA knows that. And I think that's why he won't let it out, because I think he don't want nobody to hear that mess.
Oh, I don't hate him for it. Yeah, I never hate. I don't hate him for it. I just feel we're never gonna hear it. I feel when somebody finally release it,
yeah,
it's gonna have to be leaked. Like somebody gonna have to leak it
because RZA don't want nobody to hear that mess.
Right, they're gonna have to leak it. It's gonna have to get leaked. Yeah, it ain't gonna get officially released. It's got to be leaked.
Well, all right. So Wu-Tang Clan Fantasy RPG is reportedly in the works, y'all. This is crazy. I've been waiting for this my whole life. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
I want the PS5 version.
I'm telling you, I want the PC version. I need the PC version. You know what I mean? So supposedly a new Wu-Tang Clan third-party fantasy RPG is in the works at Microsoft and new developer Brassline Entertainment, which includes veterans from BioWare and Bethesda. The new title will reportedly be based on Wu-Tang Clan lore, and the band will create the soundtrack too. This is according to journalist Jez Corden, who says the latest episode of the Xbox 2 podcast that he first heard about the Wu-Tang Clan RPG back in July, which is apparently codenamed Shaolin, probably in reference to the rivalry between Shaolin and Wu-Tang martial arts styles, which actually popped up in September's NVIDIA GeForce Now games leak. So that is a NVIDIA, you know, they make PC parts and all that, gaming PC parts and all that. So this
I didn't see it in there. I got a shield. I got an NVIDIA shield. I could check it out.
And he says the game used Wu-Tang Clan lore, and that it's a third-person fantasy action RPG revolving around melee combat with a 4-player co-op, a beefy campaign with a couple of dozen hours of play, looting, sensational content, dungeon crawling, and endgame content, with Corden making a specific comparison to Minecraft Dungeons, although he's pretty sure it's not an isometric game like Diablo. Game Beats Jeff Grubb backed up Jez Corden's report on his own show, although he doesn't say much more than to confirm that it's not a remake of the Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks spinoff. You remember that joint when Mortal Kombat did a action game that wasn't a fighting game at all? It was like you were Kung Lao.
Yeah, it was a side scroller.
Yeah, like a 3D side scroller joint. Yeah, but he's saying it's definitely not that. And the website states it has an unannounced action RPG in the works, and that's probably the Wu-Tang game. But man, like, you remember the Wu-Tang fighting game that they had?
Yeah, I remember it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that joke.
That was crazy. That was crazy to be able to play as the different members of the Wu, like on some Shaolin. That was a dope game. Cooks, was that on PS2 or PS1?
That was on PS. I believe that was on PS2.
Let me see.
No, sir. I hate to bust your bubble. That was on PS1.
That was on one?
Yes, sir. Being the official gamer on this channel, I'm trying to tell you, that was on PS1. Reno seems to think it was on PS2, but it wasn't, man. It was on PS1. I remember that. I remember when that came out, but that came out like 99.
I know that.
It came out like 99.
Yeah, it came out in 99. It was Activision Midway Studios, but yeah, it was Wu-Tang Shaolin style. It was released as Wu-Tang Taste the Pain in PAL regions, and is a fighting game for the PlayStation. The basis for the game's story and setting is a real-life hip-hop group, Wu-Tang Clan, featuring characters based on their stage personas and the martial arts themes of their music. Some members of the group also provide voiceover work and made vocal and production contributions to the music of that game. In my head, when I picture the game, I picture PS2's quality graphics. That's the only reason I thought it was a PS2 game, because in my mind, and Cooks, maybe this is your reasoning too, I picture it, and I'm picturing it in those updated graphics. But looking at it on here now, it's definitely
that's PS1, bro. I remember.
You know what I mean?
You know why? Because I didn't like the graphics at first, but then I played the game and I really liked it.
The mechanics were good.
Yeah, mechanics was decent.
Yeah.
They had finishing moves and everything. They had like
Right.
finish a Joker and all that. It was,
Right. And
but you know what? You know what game that actually paved. And like you said, Wu-Tang, they paved the way for a lot. It actually kicked the door before another game that
Def
was
Jam.
wildly popular, which was Def Jam.
Def Jam.
Yeah, everybody liked Def Jam. Fight the Def Jam.
I
That was
liked
definitely PS2, Xbox, era.
Yeah, that was PS2. Yeah,
Yeah, that was a killer game. Fight for New York was dope. I think that was the sequel. Yeah, we played the hell out of that. We played the hell out of it because I don't know if the first one did, but the second one had a feature where you could create your own fighter. You know, how they look, how they fight, the style of fighting, the moves, all of that.
Yep.
And we used to get down on that. We used to get down on that heavy. But one thing that, playing games with your boys and all of that, fighting games, you can't do that with an RPG. An RPG is dolo. That's for your solo time when you just dolo and everybody's gone. You know what I mean? Kids is gone, wife is gone. You know what I mean? Homeboys that went to do their thing, and you just jack in. You just plug in and go into that RPG world, man. And there's nothing that I've wanted more except Knights of the Old Republic 2 in a remake, but a Wu-Tang RPG, man, would be crazy. Because they've had comic books, they've got all kind of story that they can use. I don't know what it could be about, but that's
you got your wish for that. You got your wish for that Knights of the Old Republic too. They're definitely bringing one of those out.
They're bringing part 1. They are bringing part 1. Y'all look at this shit.
Peace is a lie. That is what the Sith believe. They promise power. Now they wield it. We face the greatest Sith in generations. They must be stopped.
I had to go there, man. I had to.
Now, did you like part 2 of Knights of the Old Republic?
Part 2 was the one I really got into. That's what I'm saying.
That was the Sith joint. Yeah, that was the Sith joint.
The Sith joint. That was my joint. Part 1 I didn't really play. You know what I'm saying? That was an earlier joint. Part 2 was a Xbox. They put it on Xbox, and that's why I played it, because I wasn't into PC gaming back then. PC gaming is very new for me, so I'm new to that, but I've been an Xbox dude since Xbox came out, and Knights of the Old Republic 2 is definitely one of my favorite all-time games. So I can't wait till Wu-Tang do it. All right, Miss Cooley, peace.
Peace, Miss Cooley.
Yeah, that's something that I think is dope as far as Wu-Tang news and other stuff, comics, because this is hip-hop and comics, but actually not comics. Let me talk about this movie joint, because we did a show about the Matrix 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Matrix 4 reveals support Morpheus machines theory. Morpheus will be returning in the Matrix Resurrections, but recent comments could confirm the version of the character has ties to the machines, right? New reveals regarding the Matrix Resurrections could prove the theory that the film's new version of Morpheus is linked to the machines, with the fourth film in the Matrix franchise arriving in theaters in December 2021. Audiences are still asking questions about the sequel's mysterious plot. One of the biggest sources of curiosity and theorizing is the character of Morpheus, who will be played by Yahya Abdul-Mateen II in the new film. The original Matrix from 1999, Morpheus, was played by Lawrence Fishburne, of course, acted as both a figurehead for the human resistance in the real world and a guide for Neo, Keanu Reeves, as he came to understand his new powers and responsibilities as the One. It was Morpheus who found Neo, unplugged him from the Matrix, and believed his prophesied role in the ending war against the machines. As a reward for his faith, Morpheus was the last of the iconic trio of himself, Neo, Trinity, and him still standing after the final battle to save the human race took place. So basically, we have been talking about why is Morpheus played by someone else? Why did not bring back Lawrence Fishburne? Like that was a big subject of debate because people was mad about that. I know I wasn't happy about it. I was like, man, come on, man. Like
Right.
I get maybe that they wanted him to be a younger version of Morpheus or something, but you still could have brought Larry in to do a couple scenes, you know what I mean? Couple something. But I think what they're doing is that this Morpheus, it's not Lawrence Fishburne because it's the machine's interpretation of Morpheus.
Of Morpheus, yeah.
I think you said something like that, didn't you, Stu?
Yes, sir. When you go back to the PC game, they talk about a lot of stuff like that. Morpheus actually going on a mission to rescue Neo. He had to go back in the Matrix, and maybe he went in there and got caught. He didn't make it.
Right.
I never played the PC game, but the PC game was a direct sequel to the 3 movies,
Right.
and it was part of the lore. It was official. It was made official. So whatever happened in that game is official for the movie. So
Boba Fett movie coming to Disney Plus next month. What is that? I remember the Boba Fett show that was coming out. That's coming out, you know, Book of Boba Fett. But this is talking about 2 months away from diving deep into the adventures of Boba Fett and Fennec Strand, while we are still missing our enigmatic bounty hunter by the end of the year 2020. Oh yeah, Book of Boba Fett. We'll see him return to the screen. Thankfully, Disney is in a mood to treat fans, and the coming month is predestined to see many new additions to Disney Plus, including a Boba Fett movie. So we're not talking about, you know, Book of Boba Fett. They're talking about a movie coming out in November. Disney is gearing up to celebrate November 12th, i.e. Disney Plus Day, with a massive lineup of new content that will be added to the streamer's expansive library. Recently, the House of Mouse released a short trailer giving a glimpse of the titles that subscribers can binge watch on the auspicious day. The trailer includes a Boba Fett movie, which is a very special behind-the-scene documentary titled Under the Helmet: Legacy of Boba Fett. Okay. As per the description, the special will explore and celebrate the origins and legacy of Star Wars legendary bounty hunter Boba Fett. Man, I can't wait.
It sounds dope.
We catch a few glimpses in the trailer of the actor Tamora Morrison or Jeremy Bullock in the original Star Wars trilogy, clad in his iconic armor and getting ready for his scenes. Judging by the brief scenes, it's apparent that the Boba Fett movie will trace the creation and history of the character in great detail. That's great. I love documentaries. You know what I mean? I especially love film documentaries, man. I love like the making of, you know what I mean? Like for me, I'm a film buff. Like I've been into making movies since I was a kid. You know, always went, you know, I went to film schools and all of that. So seeing the making of movies is like, I don't know. That's one of
dope.
my favorites.
That's dope. Yeah.
I love that shit. And so Boba Fett, on top of it, one of my favorite characters. I know, I think everybody's favorite characters, man. And but yeah, seeing that's gonna be dope. But isn't it funny how they clickbait you with that?
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be a new Boba Fett movie.
Oh yeah,
that's all they saying. It's gonna be a new Boba Fett movie. New Boba Fett movie.
Which they were right. It was, but they're not telling you exactly what it is.
It's a Boba Fett documentary.
It's just because it's some real sick. It's some real serious
clickbait.
Yeah,
pump fake. But yeah, man, I can't wait for that shit.
Yeah, I can't wait for it either.
What was that? Didn't you have something, Stu?
As far as
that you want to talk about?
Oh, topic?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I always got a topic, man. Talk about. Let me pull up my notes here. Get started. When we talking about Shazam, the worm I was telling you about was Mr. Mind. Mr. Mind is one of Shazam's most deadliest foes, and is even though he's like a worm, like you look at him, you see, you see he's like a worm. He's literally like an intellectual, diabolical genius. Like he's like a
Right.
yeah, like he's like a mad genius. Like, but he's a worm. And back in the the '60s and all of that. That to us now, we'll look at something like that and be like, man, really, a worm?
You know about
Like,
that worm, Cooks?
No, I don't. Actually, I don't.
Mm. Yeah, I don't either.
no, y'all never knew. Oh well, y'all probably never read
I ain't
Shazam
dove dive
comics,
into
man.
Shazam. I ain't dove dive into that. Got deep into Shazam comics, but I
Right.
need to though. Need to though,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
will. But
Shazam got some.
that's interesting. It's very interesting that you say that because I've been seeing, with the Black Album coming, and then different little books that I got already. It's like I need to just go and crack them open and just get to knowing what his story is about too.
Yeah. Shazam has a new ongoing series out right now too. Like I think it's on issue like 3 or 4 or something like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a new Shazam, right? Yeah. That's gonna be. I'm like you though. I haven't gotten into it or whatever. But y'all remember Shyheim and Raekwon had that beef? Like, do you remember
Hmm.
that, Stu?
Hmm.
Cooks, you
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
that?
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear
Yeah.
when I remember that shit. Like I remember when Shyheim was spitting like bars and shit, like had diss tracks against Ray. You remember that shit?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that.
He was said
Yeah,
something about he was like, uh, don't fall asleep around this cat. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
some shit. He was like, you be sleep on the couch and he try to roll you over and act like he looking for the remote controller, but he really trying to dig in your pockets and all of this. So I was like, man, you bugging. Like yeah, but Shyheim opens up about his past beef with Raekwon and admits he was wrong on Drink Champs recently. On the latest episode of Drink Champs, Nori and DJ EFN linked up with Shyheim, also known as the Rugged Child, to talk about his career experiences as a child star and his prior discrepancies with the show's hosts. The Wu-Tang affiliate was born in Staten Island, New York, and got his big break as a teenager. I remember, man, when Shyheim was a little kid, like he was in that, he did that movie. Like Shyheim was getting ready to blow. Like I don't know what happened to him, man. He just kind of fell off. But though he was never officially signed to the group, he frequently collaborated with Method Man and Ghostface and was known for his biting hardcore lyrics. In 1994, he released his debut album, aka The Rugged Child, which peaked at number 7 on the top R&B hip hop albums chart. From there, he went on to build relationships with numerous heavyweights in the hip hop industry, including Big L and Big Daddy Kane. The latter also included him on his 1994 track Show and Prove, which also featured ODB, Sauce Money, and Jay-Z. But rapping wasn't the only talent that Shyheim had under his belt. He also delved into acting and appeared in the
yeah.
film Original Gangsters. I remember that one. And In Too
I
Deep,
remember that. Yeah,
yeah,
he
and
was
The
in too
Preacher's
deep. Yeah,
Wife. Like he was doing it. Like he did movie after movie. I started seeing him among many others. Like he was doing a lot of movies. Additionally, he got the opportunity to star in the video for TLC's 1995 single Waterfalls. Man, but unfortunately, despite his success, his career took a turn and he fell victim to the many perils that he rapped about. In addition to battling drug addiction, he also faced problems with the law. In 2013, he was arrested after police found heroin and a gun at his home. That
damn,
following
it's
year, he
rough,
was,
bro. Yeah, it's
yeah,
rough.
I mean that's sad. That following year, he was involved in a hit and run in New York that left one man dead. After originally fleeing the scene, he turned himself in 1 month later and pled. I remember that. I remember that. He pled guilty to the second-degree manslaughter, among other offenses. Shortly thereafter, a New York judge sentenced him to 14 years in prison. He was released in 2020 after serving nearly 6 years. Man, damn, Shaheem turned
And
into the
Shaheem,
rugged man.
don't forget about Chi Ali too. Chi Ali was another one
Chi
that was
Ali
like
was
a
another
rising.
one.
He's a rising star. I mean, he had Funky Lemonade.
Yeah.
And he messed around and killed his
shot the dude and went on a
shot
run.
his baby, which was his baby. That was his baby mama's brother or something like that.
Some shit. Yeah.
He shot
yeah.
Yeah, they got into it, and he killed Charlie killed him. He did some time over there, some serious time. He had a good buzz.
He was
too,
on the
bro.
run for a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was on the run for a good minute.
Yeah. Well, these days, Shyheim is attempting to put his past struggles behind him, and he wants to lend a helping hand to people in need. He launched a podcast called The Rugged Road to Recovery, where he interviews guests battling addiction and substance abuse. To give fans a recap. Sorry, my screen is cracked. To give fans a recap, I can read. To give fans a recap, Revolt compiled a list of 9 facts we learned from the Shyheim interview. Check out the item below. On meeting Michael Jackson, Shyheim signed to Virgin Records at the start of his career. I'm trying to find the part where he talks about Raekwon. Okay, on his beef with Raekwon, though Shyheim was once a Wu-Tang prodigy, his relationship with the group, particularly with Raekwon, soured over the years. The beef eventually led the rapper to put out a diss record against Ray in 2008 called "Hold That Thought, Fat Boy." But after the years passed and he had the opportunity to reflect on their relationship, Shyheim explained that he had a change of heart. I had big expectations, and in my mind, I thought that Raekwon and Wu-Tang should have been doing more for me, he said. I wasn't looking for a handout, but I was still immature, and I didn't realize where he was in life as a man. How I handled it was very immature and kiddie of me. Once I started to come into my own understanding, I gave him a sincere apology. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah, you go, Shyheim, man.
You go ahead, Shot.
That's why we like. That's why we like your music now.
That's right. Absolutely. Gotta grow up and do the right thing, man. Got to.
Yeah.
Quick question. Quick question on a comic book tip. You guys think that the Batman? I don't know if y'all read it. Remember the Batman and Spawn team up?
Hell yeah.
Now a lot of people are saying
92, 91,
91, 92. A lot of people are saying
fighting.
Yeah,
I remember
a lot of people were saying
versus
that
Batman. I don't remember the team up.
Yeah, they did a team up. Where they were in New York and they were trying to. It was like an adventure concerning New York's homeless, and the story was good. It was a real good story.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are lobbying now for them to make a movie out of that. Like they're saying that there should have been, and even if you didn't do that story, that there should have been a Batman Spawn team up movie, period. And a lot of people are now pushing for that, like they did the Snyder cut, all that, and they're really putting it out there. They're like, yo, like it's long overdue. Like that's their argument. Like it's long overdue. Like and one fan even.
Go ahead.
Yeah, one fan even came up and went as far as saying, if we got Freddy versus Jason, why can't we get?
Yeah,
Batman
I mean,
Spawn?
You have the two publishers, Image and DC, to ask that, but because they've got to collab, they've got to make it, they've got to sign that paperwork. It's like we see what all the stuff going on with Sony and Marvel and Spider-Man and Fox and X-Men, and
now see you right. That's what I was waiting for. You're bringing up the argument that the fans are making. They're like, well, look, if Sony and Marvel can make a deal, Universal, Marvel, and Sony can make. I mean, like, what's up?
It's up to them. You got to ask them. They can do it. But there's a lot of talk about a Spawn movie right now, just a Spawn movie. So it could be a natural progression if they redo Spawn. There's a reboot of Spawn coming out. They're doing a new movie. We know that's happening. So they reboot Spawn, and then we got the DCEU going on, and then after that Spawn movie, then they could do a Spawn Batman thing.
Do y'all think a new Spawn movie could hold up? Like, do you think people be interested in this?
I think it's necessary.
Spawn, yeah. Because when it came out, remember when the first Spawn movie came out, we never saw anything like that. It was dope.
It was huge, but it doesn't age well. I mean, that movie
Nah,
wasn't
it
great.
didn't age well. Right.
The
It
movie
wasn't.
wasn't as good as we thought it was. Maybe, I don't know. I
Nah, it
remember
wasn't.
being like, "Yo,"
It's
but then
it's
at the same time, it's not. It doesn't have like a good rewatchability. Herbert Carpenter,
no.
peace, God, peace.
Yeah, Herbert Carpenter, peace. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't. You're right. It didn't hold up well, and it was a lot of dialogue. It was too much story, too much backstory, too much
Yeah,
everything but Spawn in action.
yeah. It
Mm-hmm.
didn't have well because the CGI was so expensive back then too. You had very few scenes of, that of stuff that I think now it'll be a lot cleaner. It'll be a lot more streamlined. That movie was it was I think they started to do a lot of things that they didn't finish, and it was just they didn't, you know what I mean? But I think now that they've got that movie to look back at and see what they did wrong, I think a new Spawn movie is gonna be crazy. And yeah, I think with the resurgence of Spawn as a character, because right now he's coming back heavy with King
Yeah,
Spawn,
yeah.
Gunslinger Spawn, like
Mm,
all of that
toy
new
line. Yeah, they got a new
universe.
toy line.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
toy.
got a new toy line and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, McFarlane's going nuts. So yeah, I definitely think a Spawn movie will be huge. I'm hearing a lot of people talk about it. Like I'm hearing a lot of people talk about it.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's why I brought it up because, like I said, I've been hearing I'm reading a lot of articles about it where people was putting up legitimate arguments. They were like, look, like a Spawn movie is overdue, but Spawn and Batman is way overdue. And they
yeah,
were saying because they're very similar. They're different, but they're similar in a lot of ways.
I would
And they were
definitely want to
saying,
see a Spawn movie before I want to see a Spawn and Batman movie. You have to
yeah,
reboot Spawn first. Well, yeah, because you have to reboot Spawn first. Cooks, I see you nodding your head. You agree? You kind of because you got to reboot. Like we want to see the new. I want a new Spawn. Like give us that new Spawn. Let us see that whole movie. And then now, okay, boom, now we could do that mashup, that team up movie. But I think Spawn deserves, man. He deserves.
Yeah, I agree. He deserve a good comeback. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else got one.
Spawn. I
Right,
mean,
right.
they did. But Spawn was just one of those characters that we basically didn't get we love, but we didn't get enough of.
Right.
And
Well, I mean,
they
yeah,
showed a lot of love to a lot of
he was
other characters except for
he was
Spawn.
one of the characters that got me into comics, period. Like, yeah, that was one of the characters that got me into comics. Like Carnage, that whole Carnage thing, Carnage and Venom and Spider-Man with the black suit and all of that. Like that's right around that time. And Todd McFarlane did Spider-Man, and I seen Spawn in the grocery store. I think it was like because they used to have comics in the grocery store in the checkout aisle, like,
Yeah, they
and
did. Yeah, I remember
I
that.
seen that Spawn. I saw that mask, and I was like, yo, that cape was crazy. Because I was an artist at the time. I mean, I'm an artist, but I was heavy into drawing and all of that. I was, probably 14 years old or something. And
Mhm.
yeah, bro, Spawn was it. Spawn was it. I was like, yo, I'm into this. I bought every Spawn that came out for like the first 15 issues as they came out. I bought them.
Yeah.
He definitely was a game changer when he
Yeah,
stopped.
because Gunslinger Spawn actually broke
Game
some
changer.
records, didn't it? Didn't Gunslinger Spawn break records last month when they released it? This month when they released it. Or was it last month?
It just dropped Wednesday.
Yeah, it broke.
Yeah.
Now they said that the latest series, I mean the latest that the next one's going to be delayed due to a pandemic paper shortage. I mean we running out of toilet paper, and we running out of comic book paper right now, Cooks.
Yep, definitely
I
heard
don't know
about
what's
that.
going on. Yeah, I
Definitely
don't know
heard
what's
about
going
that.
on.
Where? Well, this is the Spawn that's out. This is the Spawn that just came out, 321.
That's
You
King
got the
Spawn, right?
medieval Spawn,
That's
yeah,
medieval. Yeah.
and then this is just another variant cover of 321. But Gunslinger Spawn I have, but I don't know why I don't. Where it's at? I got you. I think this is one of the dopest characters, bro.
Yeah, I like Gunslinger
So that's
Spawn.
Gunslinger Spawn, y'all. For those who have not seen him yet,
Yeah.
and it's just dropped. He's just pimped out. You see him in his 10-gallon hat
Yeah,
and all of that. Yeah, yeah. Oh, this is Manifest Destiny. They got a Spawn variant cover. It's like a Spawn homage type thing.
Okay.
Yeah, Manifest Destiny is crazy.
So just dropped this month.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but Gunslinger just came out and there's several covers. This is just one of the covers. I think there's like
it's just
7.
one. Yeah.
I think there's like 7
But now
covers.
they're saying that it comes out with this week, right?
What, Gunslinger?
Or is it out? Or did it come out already?
Came out Wednesday.
Came out Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah, last Wednesday. And I mean, I got like if y'all want them, check me out on Instagram at 6th_element_comics. And you know, I've got most of the covers that I sell online, so y'all could just check me out on there and I'll get you one.
We appreciate that. We appreciate that.
Straight up.
So Marvel's Eternals, you saw the new trailer?
The trailer was dope. Got me interested. I'm not a
Yeah.
fan of the Eternals, but it definitely
It does have me a little bit interested though.
it got me interested. Yeah.
And that Celestial, man, that Celestial looks crazy. I've been wanting to see the Celestials, man, just because I don't know, they just so massive, bro, and just so powerful. You know what I'm saying? It's like Galactus. You know what I mean? Which Galactus will be in the new phase of MCU too. Like this is the age. I think we're gonna see Kang, and I think that Kang is gonna lead into Galactus.
That
We
would be
definitely gonna see Kang.
definitely
Kang.
gonna see Kang, yeah.
Definitely
But
gonna
I
see
like to
Kang.
see Galactus. I like to see Galactus not be a puff of smoke, a
Thank
growling puff of
Big
smoke.
ass cloud.
Yeah,
Oh,
I didn't like that, man.
I don't know what that
I was
why
thoroughly turned off. Yeah, I was thoroughly turned off. But
it's like
they said
they
it
had the
cost too much
money.
money to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said they didn't have the money to do it. You know?
Think about it though. Yeah, like this dude is massive, bro. Like this dude is bigger than any building that we got by a lot. You know what I mean? Like this, it would be. I can't wait to see how they do it. I think we'll see a lot of headshots. You know what I mean? Like, but it'll be dope. He'll be in space and shit. I can't wait. But Marvel's Eternals dreams big and falls hard, confusing comics characters, making for a
Whoa.
very messy movie. Chloe Zhao's 2020 film Nomadland begins with a few sparse lines of text that set up the entire world of Lost. At Sheetrock plant in a real-life town of Empire, Nevada, shuts down in January 26th. Wait a minute. Empire zip code is discontinued. Okay, anyway. Why are they talking about that? But a stable seeming environment is revealed to be constantly in flux, sometimes with frightening and debilitating speed. Eternals, Zhao's follow-up to her acclaimed Academy Award-winning film, also begins with explanatory text. This time, however, it's more lore than story about beings from another planet brought to ours for a purpose the audience won't fully grasp until the end of the film. It is withholding and not inviting, as if from this very start there are two forces at war for the kind of film Eternals should be. Latest film from Marvel Studios is equal parts puzzle piece and experiment. Eternals expands the frontiers of the MCU, providing hints about what its future may hold, while also being a project of formal ambition. Zhao deliberately breaks from the well-established Marvel formula to tell a more sweeping and mature story. I'm kind of digging that because ever since Guardians of the Galaxy, every Marvel movie tries to be Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians is probably my favorite of the Marvel. It's my favorite, but I think it's a lot of people's favorite. It was so successful that they, you know, how Hollywood does, they get a formula that works and they just copy and copy and copy. And so every superhero movie since then has been a quasi comedy, action comedy. But I'm glad they're gonna do something more serious. I'm sure there'll be plenty of comedy because it is Marvel and Guardians was such a hit. So, but the sort of story the filmmaker is known for. The script takes the sort of seismic shifts that can happen around us in 6 brief months and blows them up on a geological scale across thousands of years through the eyes of the most consciously diverse cast in a superhero blockbuster. And they say consciously diverse because they made sure that every character was a different race or gender or
Yeah, he did. Yes, they did.
sexual
He did a good job
orientation.
at it.
They were very specific about that. Eternals, however, is ultimately haunted by that formula, continually yielding to the familiar whenever it tries to show us something new. Eternals is also saddled with one of the densest premises in Marvel Comics history. A relative anomaly in the large stable of memorable characters created by the comics legend Jack Kirby, even the considerably streamlined film version can't lay the groundwork without heaps of exposition. The Eternals, the film's opening text describes, are superhuman champions from the world called Olympia, dispatched to Earth by a cosmic god named Aramesh, a celestial, in order to defend humankind from the monstrous deviants. Throughout history, the Eternals have been here helping humanity and fight off the deviants and slowly providing technological advancement to a certain point, because the Eternals have another mandate. They cannot interfere in earthly conflicts that don't involve the deviants. This is the reason the film gives, in an actual conversation between characters, for the Eternals taking a rain check on Thanos' genocidal rampage or any of the horrors and atrocities of the past. Because everybody's like, well, why weren't the Eternals helping out? Well, they couldn't because of their, celestial mandate. I still don't know how they're going to explain the mutants, but I can't wait till they try. But it's a bit hard to swallow, especially when the film goes to great special effects lengths to depict historical moments of mass destruction. To the film's credit, part of the Eternals narrative arc is its characters wrestling with the morality of this mandate. The misfortune of putting this dilemma to characters who live for thousands of years is pretty simple. The longer the character take to let awful stuff happen before they do something about it, the more they seem like chumps. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, they're trying to explain basically why they haven't done nothing yet, and of course, so you can kind of get what the movie's going to be. We're going to see them, debating, should we step in, and it sucks that we can't step in, like all the common what they're gonna do. In present day, however, it's pretty easy for the Eternals to follow this mandate. All the deviants on Earth have been wiped out, but instead of being offered a ticket to their home Olympia, they've been effectively abandoned. It's the crack screen. I'm sorry. Effectively abandoned by their god and gone their separate ways, living in a secret among the people of Earth. The expedition pauses, and the action begins with Cersei, Gemma Chan, and the sprite Leah McHugh, who live in London as a teacher and a 12-year-old, respectively, are attacked by a not so extinct deviant who also
signal jacking up on you. Signal jacking up on you.
What you say? Yeah, it looks like I'm froze.
Yeah. Mayday.
There you go.
Mayday. Yeah, come back to us. Yeah. Come back from the Matrix, Reno. Come back.
Yeah, I'm trying to come back.
Come back to the Matrix. Come back.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. My Wi-Fi is. I'm not on Wi-Fi. I'm hardwired.
You got a storm coming or something in the area? Are they doing work? Something?
I don't think so. But I don't like the Wi-Fi right now. I don't like the image that it's giving me on the screen. I don't like that. But anyways, as I was saying, the Eternals, it's going to be they got this. There's going to be one deviant, I guess, that comes back. But I don't know. I guess what they're trying to say is that it's going to be sort of predictable and formulaic. But I don't know. Are y'all happy for this movie?
Interested.
I mean, yeah, interested. Yeah, now I keep seeing all these different, trailers. I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, let's get this popping. I want to see what it's all about.
Definitely
Because
interested.
any other Eternals movie, I wasn't impressed with, and I'm just hoping that this one would do
What
it for
other
me.
Eternals movie?
Remember they had not Eternals. What's the other ones?
And
Not the
him,
Eternals. Inhumans. Yeah, I wasn't impressed with
Ah,
Inhumans.
that show? Yeah, that was whack.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed with Inhumans. So I'm hoping Eternals
Right,
is what
right,
Inhumans wasn't. Like, you know what I mean? I hope it
right.
is what Inhumans couldn't be. I mean, because they're reaching, they're trying to introduce. I believe everybody's trying to introduce something new right now. Like they're trying to stay away from Spider-Man, the Hulk, Cap. They want to introduce new heroes. New
It's that
franchises.
Guardians of the Galaxy thing. They want to bring out obscure. That's what it was. They were like,
Right.
yo, what's another obscure team
And
or
don't
group?
forget, and Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad did the same thing Guardians
That was
did.
DC's thing of trying to
Right.
do
So now
Guardians.
DC's trying to find, they're kind of shelving Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, and they're trying to, bring out some other characters, do some
Yeah,
other things.
they're looking for their DC
Guardians.
Eternals or Guardians.
Yeah, they're Guardians or they're Eternals.
Which is going to be Young Gods, right? Or what is it? New Gods?
New Gods. Yeah.
That's
They got
that's
Static. They got a Static movie. New
the
Gods. Flash.
yeah.
We never had a Flash movie. Then they're gonna try to, I think, do Cyborg. Cyborg was supposed to have a movie. Aquaman is a new character
Yeah.
that we've never really explored on the big screen. And they're really pushing Aquaman. They push Aquaman now harder than they push Superman.
I mean, Aquaman movie was dope.
The Aquaman movie, yeah, it was really good. Yeah,
That was good.
I was
The
blown
new
away
one,
by that.
the new one looks crazy, dog. The new one, I can't wait.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Mhm.
It looks like some
Well, they just announced a new
like
Ant-Man and
Avatar.
Wasp. Yeah, they just announced a new Ant-Man and Wasp,
Ant-Man and Wasp.
Quantumania. Yeah,
Quantumania.
so Quantumania. So they're also characters that are not of the mainstream. They're
Right.
some of their lesser known characters that's got a good buzz to it too, right? A lot of people like Ant-Man and Wasp.
Ant-Man was mad successful.
Yes, it
Yeah,
was.
it was
Yes, it was.
And again, that's that comedy formula. It's what it's what's successful. It's what a lot of like a lot of comic fans, a lot of are not happy with the whole comedy style of these movies. A lot of comic fans.
I can see why. Because it takes away.
It takes you out of the
takes you out of
story,
the element, right?
The immersion, yeah.
Right. And then every movie they come out with, like Hollywood is like monkey see, monkey do.
It's
they
cookie
don't
cutter factory.
Yeah, it's cookie cutter. Yeah, that's just exactly. Because once they bought out Guardians, then Thor, the next Thor movie had like a, like a little, like that little comedic relief to it.
Right.
And then, it's just this.
Love and Thunder.
Yeah, Love and Thunder. Love and Thunder.
No, it was
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok. Yeah, Ragnarok had that little. Yeah, so same thing with the Batman movies. Once we got the Nolan back, we just couldn't. They just can't get away from, what that was. I mean, it was dope for its time. We liked it. We thought it was great, but it's time to move on. Give us something. Give us a new look on Batman. Give us something fresh.
Yeah, I like the new Batman. I like what they're doing with it. We're getting a new Blood Syndicate series from Milestone Media too. Oh, Blood Syndicate. That's dope. Yeah, Angelo Bellano.
That's from Milestone. Yeah, that's a Milestone book. They're from the Dakotaverse.
Yeah, I got that.
Right. Yeah, because
I have the original Blood Syndicate comic. I have the original comic. Which is dope.
Yeah, that Static, Hardware, and Icon and Rocket. Yeah, all of the Milestone joints they're gonna do something with. You already know.
I hope so.
That's
guaranteed.
So, yeah, it's
DC should. I mean, yeah, because if they did it right and they brought it out, it would be It would be that fresh look they looking for, that fresh take, that like that they, and then that new thing that nobody has that they got, but they
Right.
don't. DC's never supported Milestone, bro, and I mean never, like they should
They
have.
didn't really, not like they
People,
should. They're doing it
right,
now. Yeah.
right, and people love it. People love the whole
It's
idea, the
yeah.
concept of the Codeverse. They loved it. I mean, it was highly successful. And DC, what they do is like they just did it a few months ago. We got the static, we got the icon, got the hardware, and then they just cut it. And we got nothing. I'm like, all right, like, can
I
we
mean,
get?
they're doing 3 ongoing series though. Those are steady coming out.
I hope so. I hope so,
I
because we
mean,
never got,
Yeah.
we never finished the 6 issue series that they started this summer.
they got right now. They got Icon and Rocket. That's on like issue 3 or 4,
Should be
4
on
or 5.
3. Should be on issue 3.
Yeah, yeah. And then Static is on 4, and
Hardware should be on 3.
Hardware's on
Should be
2 or
on
3.
3. Two,
Came out
two or
later.
3.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And they're good. They're really good. So
Yeah.
they're definitely giving them their due now. You get variants. They got the cardstock covers. Um, they're doing a lot with them. Star Wars has got some crazy shit coming out too.
Yeah.
Star Wars, like Boba Fett and all of that, but Mandalorian. Oh, speaking of the Mandalorian, uh, one of the actresses is you remember Bo-Katan, the
Yeah.
redhead chick? She's
Right. Check it out.
during the Mandalorian season 2, Star Wars fans were introduced to a number of new characters, including the live action debut of Star Wars Clone Wars fan favorite Bo-Katan. When the bounty hunter Din Djarin and Grogu first encountered Bo-Katan on Trash, Chapter 11, here the heiress, the character was joined by 2 of Bo-Katan's Mandalorian Night Owl warriors, Casca Reeves and Axe Wolves. Oh, Sasha Banks. But Sokoff has previously confirmed that Bo-Katan will return. Sorry. Bo-Katan will return to Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni's Mandalorian Saga. Also indicated that Cassian's will reprise his role as wolves. WWE star Banks, for her part, garnered massive support from fans earlier this year amid some controversial online activity. The actress and pro wrestler recently teased a return to the Star Wars franchise online, delighting her supporters, but has now confirmed that she will not appear in the upcoming Mandalorian season 3. And that's see, they made me think it was Bo-Katan, but I think they're talking about Reeves. Remember the other chick that was with Bo-Katan? I don't think that's who I think they're talking about the Asian woman. Yeah.
Yeah, the other chick that was with her. Yeah.
She's a So Cooks. You know about these wrestler characters, right?
Uh-huh.
You know, because it says she's a WWE star.
Yeah.
That's the Asian one, right? That's the Asian
She really not Asian.
No?
She not Asian. She ain't Asian. She African. She black.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Word,
Sasha
yeah.
Banks. Yeah. Sasha
Okay.
Banks black. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Snoop Dogg. That's Snoop Dogg cousin. First cousin.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
She getting
Yep.
ready to go on a title
I'm
run.
seeing a
So
picture
she
of her
want
now. Yeah.
she getting ready to go on a title run. So I can see why she wouldn't be able to be in that show because she gonna have to be on the road.
So she's doing wrestling stuff. Right.
Yeah, she finna
Oh,
win
well,
the belt.
she said, first of all, thanks for trying to get that out, but I'm not on the next season. But it was incredible being on The Mandalorian on Star Wars, to be on a franchise that's so huge and loved. Just look at the reception from fans outside of the WWE universe. It was the best feeling of all time. The projection of that show was overwhelming. I legit felt like I was in a galaxy far, far away. I felt like I was on a different planet. It was something I would always take with me and look. And I took so much of what I learned from acting with them and being on so many great stars to WWE. It really helped my confidence, as well as when I came back from doing The Mandalorian 2 years ago. So she didn't trying to see why she's saying that she wasn't going to be in it. She said, I was watching as a fan with everybody else freaked out, even though the show, blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry, but she is not saying it. But yeah, I guess she's doing, like you said, some wrestling stuff. But I really thought that they were talking about Bo-Katan. Again, that's
from what she got going on right now, and like as we talk, she's getting ready to go on a title run. In the wrestling sources, they letting us know that somebody getting ready to leave and she getting ready to get the belt. So she wouldn't be able to do that because she's gonna be holding the belt and traveling because they travel 7 days a week.
Right.
So that's why she wouldn't be able to be in the show. You know what I'm saying? Just like when The Rock come and do his thing one more time, he won't be in no movies or nothing like that. You won't hear from him nothing in the movies. But then you'll see previews of what he got coming. So basically it's letting the wrestling fans know that he's gonna be here for this amount of time and then he gone.
So he's coming back, Rock's coming back?
I mean, it's questionable because of another person that's in his family that's like at the top of the charts. They're looking for, the match to make him lose. You know what I'm saying? They're looking for the match. So, but this probably won't be this probably won't be like 2023, like it'll be 2 years from now. Like it's gonna take that long because there's so many contracts that he gotta sign. Like Hollywood gotta let him go to wrestle. See what I'm saying?
You gotta
like
finish
that's how yeah, like his body, his body, it's I hate to say it, but it's like he belongs to them. Like they gotta let him go. You know what I'm saying? I hate to say it like that, but they gotta let they superstar that they make all this money get in this ring and fall off a table or something and probably get hurt. And now we can't make this movie that we halfway through making. So we got to sign this and sign this and sign that. Then probably got to pay. So he getting paid going both ways, back and forth.
Yeah, that's crazy. That would be crazy. So are you saying that they're gonna make him lose? That's the reason?
I wouldn't say make him lose. It's already I would say that part was already in the script, if you was to say
scripted.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Script. And he could say make him lose or something could happen, but him being back going against his cousin that is at the top of the charts and damn near basically almost where he was at because he don't have the acting, he don't have the Shazam like The Rock has, but he got everything else, and he got the belt, and he got the money, and he's plus their family name also is at the top of the charts as well, because the Samoan family is almost like brothers with WWE in a way. Vince McMahon. So he could almost say he'd be doing Vince McMahon a favor for coming back. You know what I mean? He gonna get a big check. He gonna get that part of the society that watches wrestling and stuff like that. He gonna get them back. Like he's gonna build their numbers up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he win either way it go. He win.
Right. Absolutely. That's the way to do it.
That is. I agree.
That's the way to do it. So, Stu, I guess there's a football game going on right now. It's 8:00, y'all. So we gotta cut it short, y'all. But we had a good show, man, and I appreciate y'all coming and checking and chilling with us, man. And we will see y'all Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Also for indie hip hop and comics, and then we'll see you Saturday again for DC Day again at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5:30 Central, 3:30 Pacific. We will definitely be right here, y'all. Word. So, Cooks, where can they find you, man?
You already know Cooks24 podcast on Instagram, or Cook Madden on Facebook. You know what I mean? Or Cooks24 on Twitter. So yeah, come check me out whenever you get time. Come check me out.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. Stu Dog. Peace, man. Oh, Cook, hang out a second. All
right. Yeah, hang out, Cook. Hang out. Cook, you be out. Hang out, man.